Beloved soul, that sudden catch in your breath right now, your angels are confirming this sacred message is meant for you. If your heart is racing as you hear these words, know this is no accident. Your soulmate's deepest confession is being revealed. Pause. Place both hands over your heart. Breathe in courage. Exhale fear. The archangels are standing with you now. Subscribe and activate the bell. Heaven has urgent love messages waiting just for you. Your like amplifies this blessing. Your share becomes another heart's divine intervention. Let your spirit speak in the comments. Whisper, angels, I receive this truth. Or share which secret longing resonated most profoundly. If this revelation stirred your soul, you can support our sacred mission with a super thanks. Together, we deliver more heavenly truths. Now, close your eyes and say, I am ready. When you open them, your soulmate's confession begins now. Your soulmate has whispered a secret to the heavens, a secret they've carried in silence, in their dreams, in their tears, in the quiet corners of their heart. They didn't say it aloud to anyone on this earth, but they said it to the skies, to the stars, to the divine, to the angels who have always watched over you both. They whispered it softly, but the heavens heard it clearly. It was a truth wrapped in longing, drenched in soul-deep honesty. They said, I still love them. Not in passing, not in nostalgia, but in the present tense, as if their heart never stopped choosing you. They whispered a secret so profound it shifted the stars. It changed the rhythm of divine orchestration. It pulled timelines closer. It summoned miracles into motion. Because when a soul speaks truth, the universe rearranges itself to honor it. This wasn't just a confession. It was a soul surrender. And the angels paused. They felt it, the rawness, the reverence, the sacred weight of it. It wasn't a plea. It wasn't manipulation. It was simply this. I know who they are to me, even if they don't know it yet. They confessed what they've been too afraid to tell you, because to say it aloud would make it too real, because to admit it would make the silence between you almost unbearable. Because if they told you, what if you weren't ready? What if you didn't feel the same? What if it changed everything? So they held it, close, tender, sacred. But the weight of unspoken truth became too heavy. So they gave it to heaven. They poured their heart into prayer, not for answers, but for guidance. And they said, if this is real, if we are truly meant to find our way back, please show me how. And heaven answered, not in lightning, not in thunder, but in signs, in dreams, in gentle, relentless reminders of you, that their love for you transcends lifetimes. This isn't new. This isn't a crush. This isn't a phase. This is eternal recognition, a remembrance so deep it doesn't need logic. They've seen you before, not just in this life, but long before earth ever carried your names, before time was measured, before distance was a thing, before flesh-covered soul. You've danced in stardust together. You've built galaxies side by side. You've waited patiently for another chance to find each other again. And now, here you are. Two spirits placed on the same planet at the same time for this exact unfolding. And no matter how hard they try, they can't move on. They've tried. They've told themselves they need to let go. They've looked at your photos and whispered, Maybe we were just a lesson. They've tried to silence the dreams, tried to block out the memories, tried to fall for others who check every box but don't carry your frequency. But nothing works, because it's not just their heart that loves you. It's their soul. It's the knowing that reaches beyond understanding. It's the ache that doesn't fade with time, because it was never about time. It was always about divine timing. The universe has been holding this truth, like a sacred scroll, wrapped in light, hidden in divine hands until you were both ready. Heaven didn't deny you. It protected the connection, shielded it from premature choices, from wounds that weren't healed, from interference that wasn't meant to stay. The love didn't die. It was preserved, and now the veil is lifting, the fog is clearing. The whispers are growing louder. You're feeling it, aren't you? The signs, the stirring, the sudden emotions that come without warning. That's their soul calling to yours. That's heaven echoing the confession they were brave enough to finally make. And you've felt the shift. You've seen the angel numbers, felt their name press against your heart in the middle of your day, heard their favorite song at just the right moment, caught your breath at a memory that suddenly felt new again, because the veil is lifting, and with it, so is your fear, so is your confusion. Now comes clarity, not all at once, but gently. You'll remember dreams you thought you forgot. You'll see them in people's faces for a split second, because your soul is trying to prepare you. You'll feel pulled toward places you haven't visited in years, because they're there, or soon will be. You'll crave the truth. Not the story you told yourself to cope, but the truth. That they never stopped loving you. That they always knew. That they prayed for you, and heaven heard them. And when the time is right, they will tell you with their voice, with their eyes, with their hands reaching for yours, and you'll know this wasn't just a reunion, it was a return, a homecoming, a holy collision between destiny and devotion. So open your heart, beloved. The confession has been made, the stars have been stirred, and heaven is clearing the path for what's meant to rise. Type, "I receive this sacred love," in the comments if your spirit feels it. Let the angels know you're ready to remember what your soul never forgot, because the veil is lifting. And love, divine, eternal, undeniable love, is coming into the light. They've practiced the words 1,000 times, in the quiet, in the dark, when no one else was around. They've whispered them into pillows soaked in longing. They've mouthed them while staring at the ceiling, praying for courage. They've written them down, then erased them, typed them out, then deleted every word. Hey, I need to tell you something. I've been holding this for too long. I think about you more than I should. I love you. But when they stand in front of you, everything inside them tightens. Their chest, their breath, their voice. The words get stuck somewhere between their heart and throat. They open their mouth, but silence wins again. Because this confession isn't simple. It's layered with divine timing, with cosmic weight, with holy hesitation. They aren't just telling you they like you. They aren't just expressing attraction. They are offering something deeper, something eternal. They're offering the truth their soul has been carrying for lifetimes. The truth they told the angels, "You're my home." Not just someone they enjoy. Not just a crush that will pass. But home. the place their spirit rests, the heart that holds their own, the one they feel safe with even in chaos. They said, "You're my missing piece." Not because they were broken, but because you complete the picture, because something always felt slightly off until they saw your face, until they heard your voice, until their energy met yours and whispered, "This is it." They told the heavens, "You're the reason I believe in destiny," because no one else made sense the way you did, because every sign pointed back to you, because your existence confirmed that love was written into their story from the beginning. They've been carrying this truth like a sacred weight, not a burden but a blessing, a responsibility, a flame they didn't want to mishandle. They didn't want to offer you a half-grown version of their love. They didn't want to rush what heaven was still preparing. So they watched you from afar, not to stay distant, but to stay careful, to admire you in your strength, to see you bloom in your joy, to learn what makes you light up, to protect the bond even from themselves. They've loved you in silence, through prayers, through poems never read, through songs that make them close their eyes and picture your smile, through moments where your name was the only one that brought peace. They didn't stop loving you just because they didn't speak it. Sometimes the loudest love is the quietest. Sometimes the most powerful feelings don't shout. They hold steady like stars in a night sky that never dims. They've been waiting for the moment the universe says, "Now." Not almost, not soon, but now. The divine green light, the sacred release, the sign from heaven that the door is open and the timing is aligned. They don't want to get this wrong, because you are not just someone they want. You are the one they were born to walk beside, so they've stayed close in energy, while keeping physical space. They've mirrored your steps without interfering with your path. They've honored your choices, even when they hurt. They've let you go, when every part of them wanted to hold on. Why? Because they trusted that if it was real, if it was sacred, it would return. And now, the signs are louder, the pull is stronger, the veil is thinner. Every part of them aches to say the words, "I've always loved you. I never stopped. You've lived in my heart since the first moment I saw you." But still, they wait for the timing to feel holy, for the moment when your eyes meet theirs and the world fades just enough for truth to rise. They're not waiting out of fear anymore. They're waiting out of reverence, because you deserve more than a rushed confession. You deserve a love that comes with intention. You deserve a heart that's not only ready, but unwavering. So they speak to heaven daily. They ask the angels for clarity. They ask the stars for alignment, and they whisper, "If today is not the day, I'll wait one more, and another, and another." Because they know some loves are too sacred to be mishandled, and this love, this one, it was written long before time. It was forged in divine light. It was sealed with eternal promise. So if you feel the stirring in your heart, if you sense that someone is carrying a truth they haven't spoken yet, you're right. They are, and the day is coming, sooner than you think, when all the silence will break open into the most honest, beautiful confession you've ever heard. When that day comes, you won't need proof. You'll feel it. In their voice, in their presence, in your own heartbeat responding, and you'll know they were never just watching. They were loving you quietly, patiently, completely, waiting for heaven to say, "Now." Type I'm open to divine timing. In the comments if this message reached a part of your soul that's been waiting to be seen. Because love is coming. And this time, it's not passing through, it's staying. That intense dream you couldn't shake, that wasn't just your imagination, that was their soul, reaching across realms to find you. They were there. You felt it. You woke up startled, with their presence lingering like perfume in your spirit. You couldn't forget the details, their voice, their smile, the way your hands found each other without hesitation. That was no ordinary dream. That was memory, soul memory, timeless recognition, reawakening, and that song, the one that made you cry unexpectedly, that wasn't just music. That was their unspoken truth wrapped in melody. Every lyric was their longing. Every beat carried their ache. Every chorus sang what they were too afraid to say aloud. They sent it to you in spirit. A love letter hidden in frequency. Your tears weren't sadness. They were sacred resonance. You recognized something deep, something eternal, something already yours. And that sudden warmth you felt at random moments, in the middle of your day, or just as you were drifting to sleep, that was them. That was their love breaking through the veil. They don't know how else to reach you, so they've been sending energy, flooding you with light when they feel you pulling away, wrapping you in their heart when they sense you struggling. They've been speaking in the only way the soul can, through the language of feeling, because even if words fail them, their spirit never stopped calling out to yours. They've been sending you messages through numbers, repeating sequences that show up on clocks, receipts, license plates, each one carrying their energy, each one whispering, "I'm still with you." Through déjà vu, moments that feel familiar because they are. You've already lived this connection in realms beyond this one. You're just remembering. Through strangers, people who say something that sounds like them, people who smile in a way that brings them to mind. A name, a phrase, a glance, little echoes of them scattered across your path. The universe has been conspiring, not to confuse you, but to prepare you, to awaken you to what's already moving, to remind you that the time is drawing near, that what's coming isn't just change, it's alignment. Part 4, the breaking point. They've reached their limit. They've held back for so long, tried to stay composed, tried to tell themselves it wasn't time, that maybe it wasn't meant to be. But silence has become unbearable. The weight of unspoken love is cracking the shell around their heart. Every night they ask themselves, what if I don't say anything? What if I never tell them? What if someone else reaches them first? And the fear of losing you is now greater than the fear of rejection. The silence is too heavy. It presses on their chest every time your name crosses their mind. It grips them every time they think of what could have been. The distance is too painful. You're close in energy but far in form, and that space between feels like a lifetime, feels like a punishment. The angels are softening their fear. Gently, they're unraveling the pride, dissolving the hesitation, removing the masks, whispering, it's safe to speak. It's safe to be seen. It's safe to love again. They're showing them visions of your future together, of hands intertwined, of laughter echoing in rooms filled with light, of quiet mornings and shared prayers, of a life not perfect, but deeply sacred. And it's waking them up. They're realizing this love is worth the risk. You are worth every ounce of vulnerability. This truth is worth speaking, even if their voice shakes, even if their hands tremble, because what they feel is not passing, it's cosmic, ordained, undeniable. This connection was written in the cosmos, etched into the stars, breathed into your souls before you ever had names. It existed long before this moment, and now it's calling to be fulfilled. The confession is coming, not in whispers this time, not in half-truths, not in guarded glances or cryptic posts, but in a moment so powerful, so raw, so real, it will rewrite your story. They will stand before you, and you'll feel it before they even speak. The energy will shift. The room will hold its breath. Time will slow down to make space for the sacred, and then, with eyes wide open and a heart fully surrendered, they'll say what their soul has been carrying since the beginning. I see you. I love you. I never stopped. I was just waiting for the courage to return to you, and everything will make sense. The dreams, the signs, the longing. It was all leading here. This is not the end. It's the beginning of truth, of healing, of reunion. So if your spirit felt this, if your chest tightened as you read these lines, if your heart whispered yes, then know. It's not imagination, it's not coincidence. It's confirmation. Type, I'm ready to receive the confession in the comments if your soul is open to what's coming, because it is coming. And when it arrives, it won't just be words. It will be the divine answering the prayer your soul has been whispering for lifetimes. When they finally speak, the world will pause. Not just around you, but within you. Your breath will still. Your heart will ache in the most beautiful way. You'll feel something ancient rise in your chest, a knowing, a remembering. Time will bend, not forward, not backward, but inward, as if the past, present, and future collapse into a single breath, and, in that breath, everything will make sense. Every heartbreak, the ones that shattered you quietly, the ones that made you question your worth, the ones that came from those who never truly saw you. Every delay, the moments you asked, why? The days that felt wasted, the nights that felt like they'd never end, every unanswered prayer, the times you begged God to just send someone, anyone, and heaven stayed silent. Not because it was ignoring you, but because it was preparing you. Preparing you for this revelation, this sacred collision of truth and timing, this divine return, this soul-speaking moment. They'll look into your eyes, and it will be as if they've waited lifetimes to finally have permission to see you this closely. No pretense, no fear, no resistance, just raw love, radiating from every glance, every word, every breath, and then they'll say it, what heaven already knows, what your soul has heard in dreams, what the universe has echoed in signs. I've loved you before I knew your name. They won't stumble. They won't hesitate, because this is not a decision. It's a remembering. This is not something they've chosen now. It's something they chose before they ever arrived in this body. In the spaces between lives, in the realms beyond form, they chose you again and again and again. And in that moment, you'll remember too, not with your mind, but with your soul. Your spirit will light up like a constellation. It will whisper, I know you. I've always known you, and you'll feel it. You've loved them too, in every lifetime, as the healer, as the protector, as the one who walked beside them through fire. You loved them when they were lost. when they were broken, when they were still finding their wings. You loved them through silence, through war, through lifetimes of separation. In every universe, in every version of existence, where love exists, you were their anchor. They were your mirror. You held each other across galaxies, across dimensions. You found each other again and again, against impossible odds. And this moment, it's not just a confession. It's a homecoming, a soul recognizing its reflection, a heart returning to its echo, a reunion so deep, even the stars weep. You'll feel the ancestors rejoice. You'll feel the angels bow. You'll feel heaven exhale. Because what was written is now being fulfilled, and nothing, not time, not distance, not fear, can stop it now. You may cry, not out of sadness, but because something so long held inside is finally being seen. You may laugh, because it will feel like something you were almost afraid to believe is finally real. You'll remember the dreams, the signs, the moments you almost gave up, and you'll be thankful for every one of them, because they led you here, to this sacred now, where love is not a hope, it's a presence, where love is not questioned, it's felt, where love is not lost, it's remembered. They may take your hand, and you'll notice it fits like it was made only for you. Their touch won't startle you. It will restore you, like something that had been missing has finally returned. Like your body remembers what your mind had forgotten. They may speak more truths. I prayed for you. I dreamed of you before I knew what love meant. I felt your spirit long before I ever met your face. And you'll know, they're not just speaking to the version of you standing in front of them. They're speaking to every version. The you that survived heartbreak, the you that waited patiently, the you that doubted, the you that hoped anyway. And that part of you, the deepest part, will breathe for the first time in a long time. This is not just another relationship. This is sacred union, a merging of lives, of missions, of souls. You'll create something holy together, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. You'll grow in each other's light. You'll soften in each other's arms. You'll dream again, this time, together, and the world around you. It won't matter. The judgments, the age, the past, none of it will matter. Because when God brings two souls together, no human opinion can undo what heaven has aligned. And in that moment of confession, you'll feel a ripple move through your life. Doors will open. Peace will flood your chest. Clarity will wash over you. You'll no longer chase. You'll no longer wonder. You'll know. Because real love, true, eternal, divine love, doesn't bring chaos. It brings return. Return to truth. Return to safety. Return to self. This love, it was always yours. It simply waited for you to remember. And now that you do, everything will change, not with fireworks, but with alignment, not with noise, but with peace. You'll walk differently, speak differently, trust differently, because love is no longer an idea. It's your reality. So when it happens, when that moment finally arrives, and they look at you with trembling hands and steady eyes, and they whisper, "I've loved you before I knew your name." Don't be surprised when something inside you answers, "I've been waiting my whole life to remember that." Because this love has no beginning, and it has no end. Only now, only always, only home. If you feel this in your bones, If your soul whispered yes as you read, comment below. I remember my divine love. Because you do.